What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my top DFS picks for NFL Week 10 Monday Night Football.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss our new videos.
Once again, everyone, I apologize for the bad sound quality. I'm still traveling. I'll be back home tomorrow with the regular scheduled programs. Okay, let's see who we have at quarterback. I like Eli Manning for the New York Giants playing the San Francisco 49ers, who give up the 9th most fantasy points overall and give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Eli Manning has scored 18, 24, and 10 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 16.8 fantasy points per game on the season. He's projected to get 16.5 fantasy points tonight. I think that's going to be higher. I think he scores into the 20s. His price is actually lower than Nick Mullins, so I'll take Eli Manning with the favorable matchup here on Monday night. Okay, moving on to the running back position. I like Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants playing the San Francisco 49ers, who are the 9th worst defense overall and give up the 13th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Saquon Barkley has scored 20, 26, and 41 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 26.2 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 9 targets per game with 14 rushes per game. Projected at 22.4 fantasy points tonight, Saquon Barkley will be the bell cow running back. If you have to save some salary, you can take a look at Matt Breida or possibly Alfred Morris. Okay, let's see who we have at the wide receiver position. I like Sterling Shepard for the New York Giants playing the San Francisco 49ers, who give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Sterling Shepard has scored 7, 25, and 7 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 13.9 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 7.4 targets per game. You're going to get a massive savings on Sterling Shepard over Odell Beckham Jr. He has similar upside, projected at 12.3 fantasy points. Pretty good matchup. I like Sterling Shepard. And the other wide receiver I'm going to look to is Marquise Goodwin for the San Francisco 49ers. Really, you've got Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard, and Marquise Goodwin as your top 3 wide receivers. Outside that, you're really going to be reaching for Trent Taylor, Kendrick Bourne, who's not a bad option if you really need to save some salary. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. I like Evan Ingram for the New York Giants playing the San Francisco 49ers, who are about middle of the pack defending opposing tight ends. Evan Ingram has scored 14, 5, and 3 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 5.2 targets per game. He got 9 targets last game. He's projected at 9.6 fantasy points tonight. If you have the salary, you may want to take a look at George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. George Kittle has scored 24, 11, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 15.1 fantasy points per game on an average of 6.8 targets per game. He's projected at 13.3 fantasy points, but his price looks to be almost double that of Ingram's, so you may not be able to fit Kittle in your lineup. That's why I think Ingram is a good play to save salary so you can play the studs at the other positions.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to DraftDashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.